I think it's safe to say that over the 2 years I've been releasing Terraria content, that some of my earlier opinions have completely changed with time, which is why today I thought we'd revisit something from way back in April of 22, concerning the one and only Blowgun from my top 5 useless items video. Yeah, I know, this is looking like a bit of a 180, but hear me out. For the longest of time, I completely disregarded the potential hard mode use for this weapon, with it suddenly being available to drastically more powerful ammunition. So the question is, with this in mind, is the Blowgun now not useless, and actually a weapon I'd recommend to all of you? Before we do jump into it though, if you enjoy these weapon reviews, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, as it really helps out. Okay, let's see how you get it. What I think makes this weapon so interesting is just how early it can actually be obtained, very simply just requiring you to head to your jungle at any time. That could be minutes after creating your world, for instance. Once you're there, we need to find the beehive and defeat the queen bee. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as she dies. And let me tell you, out of all the pre-Hardmode bosses, I absolutely suck at this one, so please don't take anything you see here as any form of advice. Either way though, once she is down, as long as you've got vacant housing in your world, the witch doctor NPC should now move in almost immediately, and then all you need to do is talk to the fella and purchase the fabled Blowgun from him for 5 gold. Right, this was quite an easy one. However, before we go straight into testing, it's worth mentioning that in pre-Hardmode, the only thing this can fire are seeds, not your normal seeds, but seeds which act as ammunition and have a chance of dropping from flowers and grass. Right, it's about time we looked at why I changed my mind about this weapon. In pre-Hardmode at least, my point kinda still stands. It's god-awful, with an incredibly slow rate of fire and low projectile damage. And to be honest, compared to its worst version, the blowpipe, it only seems to be dealing about 80% more damage, which is a lot, but let's be real, should be expected. And compared to other pre-Hardmode range weapons like the mini shark, things aren't looking very good. However, if we were to pull out the hard mode upgrade for the blowgun, the dart rifle, something interesting happens. Yeah, its DPS doesn't even break 100, which is crippling for where it's placed in progression. So I guess this only means one thing. It must be the ammo bottlenecking all variants of blow-based weapons. So this is where things suddenly become kind of insane, with any of the free hard mode darts significantly transforming its damage potential into the stratosphere and beyond, with curse darts being the best for groups, ichor darts being the best for tanky single targets, and crystal darts being the best for piercing. And as you can see, on the right crowd, this pre-Hardmode weapon I previously deemed as useless is dealing well over 1000 DPS on this line of dummies. And I think what really goes to show just how much the ammo is carrying this weapon is when we compare it to the dart rifle again, there isn't much difference, and even with the blowpipe. Just how crazy is to see a weapon designed for the first few minutes of your game dealing over 1000 DPS thanks to hard mode ammo. Okay then, with this in mind, let's see how it fares against the real thing. And well, starting off with pre-hard mode only, it is kind of still a disappointment, but who really cares when you can just kind of hang on to it and wipe out groups of mummies like this no problem later. And once again, due to how much damage the darts themselves add, there really isn't that much difference to that of the dart rifle. The only limitation you may have with this thing is against anything with high defense and health, as at the end of the day, it's got that pre-hard mode based damage, so it hardly even chips this biomimic. But I mean, with what I'm going to show you next, that won't even matter anymore. Of course, a destroyer cheese. Now, it is worth saying that you won't be getting any star cannon time to kill with this thing, but for it being obtainable post Queen Bee, that is some pretty impressive numbers, and is totally a viable weapon for this entire fight. Also, if you want to hang on to the blowgun that little bit longer, I found its ichor crystal darts to work quite nicely against the Queen Slime. And yeah, there were obviously way better options out there, but the fact this is viable at all blows my mind. To be brutally honest though, this is about all she wrote, as against the other mech bosses, you'll be there for hours. So I definitely think at this point it's worth upgrading to something else. Either way though, even if you just hang on to this thing as a secondary, you'll already have a great weapon at your fingertips to help with some of those early hard mode bosses and events. Talk about a turnaround. Let me know what you think of the dart gun down below, and do you agree with this redemption of its reputation? This has been sockrteez, and I'll see you in the next one.